Separatists pushed to the brink. Republic forces continue to mount victories on battlefronts.
This is the opening of the first pilot episode of the new Bad Batch show. One more time, the iconic narrator returns to introduce us into battle with a brief update of the situation.
Depleted. Grievous mounts a desperate and brutal counterattack across several star systems.
This kind of opening was already well known from the ancestral Clone Wars series, and now you might assume the legacy carries on to the next show. But against expectations, in the following episodes, the narrator intro is missing. We are confronted directly with the main story, without any background information.
We are coming up on Seleucami.
This is nothing new. The Rebels and the Resistance show both started the same way without an explanatory intro. But why did exactly the Bad Batch, which arose the Clone Wars, choose to introduce us into the first episode and then cut the narrator out for the rest of the show? To understand this genius move from Dave Filoni, we first have to understand what the iconic Clone Wars intro wanted to tell us.
The droid army has seized control of the major hyperspace lanes, separating the Republic from the majority of its clone army.
Originally, George Lucas searched for an alternate way for the animated Clone Wars show to tell the Star Wars typical running text at the beginning of every film. A text which provided a brief summary of relevant events leading to each episode's action, to understand the initial situation of the story, to orientate ourselves in the galaxy. The Clone Wars show was meant to tell war stories, which is already implied by the battle communication opening sequence of the animated movie. So, as an introduction, Filoni decided for a newsreel style report of the war, of our heroes' exploits and the war crimes of the villains. The heroes and villains from our point of view, the one-sided view of the Republic.
The ever-elusive General Grievous stays one step ahead of his opponents, with thousands of droid armies.
A reference to real war propaganda.
The German bombers swoop over Polish land. Polish cities and harbors are attacked. Even the capital of Warsaw itself is bombed. But Britain is ready. To quote the Prime Minister, the time for words is over. The time for action has come.
The narrator is used to create a picture of the shiny Republic fighting for the good throughout the whole Clone Wars conflict.
The Jedi, resolute in their effort to restore order to the Republic, mount a massive invasion to retake Geonosis and shut down Puggle's factories of terror once and for all.
The first episode of the Bad Batch begins during the last days of the Clone Wars. It still begins in a time of war. The narrator has to report one last time.
We find Republic clone troopers locked in deadly combat on the besieged world of Color.
After Order 66 and the shutdown of the Separatist army, there are no more battles to be fought. No more wins and losses to report. No more use of propaganda. And that's how they tell us that the war is finally over. Concerning everyone already knows the Empire and its fascist reign, there is no further need to explain the circumstances. Also, since the narrator himself, Tom Kane, was left unable to speak after he had a stroke, we probably heard his introduction the last time.
Separatists pushed to the brink. Republic forces continue to mount victories on battlefronts across the galaxy.
An honorable and genius way to end the Clone Wars within its heir of its legacy, the Bad Batch.